Do you want to know the #1 secret most real estate agents in New York won't tell you? When it comes to renting, there's no reason why you can't do this completely on your own without stressing, overcomplicating, or overpaying, which is why you may be considering hiring a real estate agent like me to help you navigate the process. What's up guys, I'm Chloe. This is my sleepy sidekick over here, Sadie. And today I'm gonna help you navigate all things New York City living related, from real estate to lifestyle. As you now know, I am a real estate agent here in New York City, and I feel like there's just not enough information about how to rent an apartment in New York. And I have all the inside tips and tricks to make this a super easy process for you. So before we get into it, make sure you subscribe, like this, otherwise I'll be super embarrassed because this is my first video and I really wanna keep making content for you. So make sure you watch the very end and let me know what you like, what you want to hear more of. So excited to start this journey with you guys. So there's 3 things that you have to do before you start your search. I know you want to jump online and start looking at apartments and dreaming about what your life is going to be. So I'm going to help you focus in on what to do. #1, you want to calculate your actual budget. #2 is you want to get your documents prepared. And #3, you want to hone in on specific neighborhoods to make this search a lot more streamlined. Tip #1 is run the numbers. Most, if not all, landlords in New York City have a very strict 40 times the rent income policy. This means that you are going to have to prove that you are making or are going to make 40 times the monthly rent over the year. Just know this up front because you don't want to have your budget be more than you can afford, find something you love, and then just find out you can't even get approved for it anyways. Okay, are you making $100,000 a year? Divide that by 40, $2,500. It is really expensive living in New York City. The top that you can get approved for is $2,500. Now the good thing about this, everyone in your household needs to equal 40. So if you are moving in with a significant other, with a friend, all of your combined incomes have to equal 40. Now I'm saying 40 times rent, that is your max, but most financial advisors, and myself included, are going to say, try to get closer to 30 times your monthly rent. You don't wanna overextend yourself over the year, so 30 times is a pretty good number to aim for. If you can't make this requirement, let's say you're a student, let's say you're not from here, you're gonna have to find a guarantor. This person is going to have to be able to show that they make 80 times the monthly rent. Next thing you're gonna wanna do, and I'm telling you, please do this, this is going to be the biggest difference in your rental experience. Come help me tell them about point 2, okay? Come on, come on, come on. All right, tip #2, Sadie, take it away. Cool, okay, so step #2 is you want to get your documents prepared. This is basically going to help the landlord confirm that you do hit this 40 times rent requirement. So here's how this works. A really good trick is to make yourself a PDF on your computer, put all these things in there, and have it ready to go. So the documents you are going to have for basically every building in New York City is a photo ID, your last year's tax return, if that is applicable, your last 3 bank statements, your last 3 pay stubs, and a letter from your employer saying how much you make and when you start working for them. If you find an apartment you like and you're not 1000% sure about it, but you know it's definitely a really good option, as soon as you leave the listing viewing, send the building's broker this PDF of your documents. What this will do is it'll make them think that you're very serious, and they will also pretty much put you at the top of the queue for this apartment. And the greatest thing about this is that you really will know if there's someone else that's looking to take this apartment, because they'll tell you, they'll be like, hey, someone else is going to apply, like, do you want to move forward? Don't worry about this if you're a student or there's things that you don't have, like a tax return or, you know, a letter from employer. Just everything that I just said that you can get in order, get them together, because I promise you it'll save you a lot of stress in the long run. Let's get into my last tip for you guys. So when it comes to neighborhood, there's so many neighborhoods in New York City that sometimes just trying to figure out where to live is super, super overwhelming. So what I always tell people is to work backwards. Make yourself a list of the places you need to get to in your day-to-day. whether it's work, whether it's school, whether it's your gym. So open up your Google Maps, put in your work, and then map it to the West Village, map it to Brooklyn, map it to these places to kind of get a sense of not only how long it's gonna take, but what train lines are closest to you. Because you could use that information once you start the online search to really narrow down this number for you guys. So those are my 3 tips to start this process. In my next video, I'm going to break down exactly how to use this information to your advantage online, where to search, and how to set up your appointments to go view so you save time and money and energy in the long run. So definitely check back next week. I'm so excited, but we'll see you then. Bye. Bye.